Good evening, everyone. Hare Krishna. Before I begin, I'll just chant a prayer or mantra offering respect to my spiritual teachers. Om Jnanitipidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshulan Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto him. So recently, is this loud enough for everybody? Yeah. Okay. Recently, I visited Oregon, and I'm going to relate this to something that hopefully means something to all of you, or is meaningful for all of you. There's a saying or a general idea that any journey that one goes on, let's say they're going to India or they're going here or there, different journeys. If it starts off with some difficulty, some problem, that's considered to be a good sign. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but often when I travel, I have some interesting traveling karma that something goes wrong along the way. And in this particular journey, of course it's a small journey up to Oregon, but whatever. So I was supposed to go up there, and I booked a flight. I wasn't walking, long walk, but I booked a flight up there, and 2 hours before the flight, they canceled it. So that was the first good sign. So then because I wanted to be there for a specific day because I had some things lined up, and so I was scrambling to try to find another flight with another airline. Of course, where I was going was Medford. It's a small town, and not many flights fly into there. So anyways, I tried to find another flight, and I managed to find one, but it was quite a roundabout way. So first I had to fly from San Diego. I had to fly to Phoenix and spend the night. And luckily, I think that's funny, huh? I didn't think it was funny. I'm just joking. So luckily, I knew a few people in Phoenix. I called a friend up and I said, "So I'm gonna be stopping in Phoenix for a night, and do you have any advice what I do?" And he said, "Oh yeah, no problem. I'll pick you up." So he picked me up. A nice person, Indian family. He picked me up. I went to his house. They fed me dinner, and then I spent the night there. So I wake up in the morning, and he drives me to the airport, and then I hop on my flight to Medford. Very small town. Medford, Oregon, southern Oregon. So I arrive there, and then I'm waiting for my luggage to come off. The conveyor belt, was it? Oh, whatever, luggage, whatever you call it. What do you call it? Yeah, you get the idea. Luggage claim. So I'm waiting for my luggage to come off, and it's kind of like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then a woman, she comes up who works with American Airlines, and she says, "Oh, has your baggage come off?" I said, "No." I said, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, but they left like 10 suitcases in Phoenix." So I got one of my suitcases, but it wasn't really, anyways, it wasn't of much value. Just had a bunch of pots in it, like cooking pots, but. So anyways, with all of my important stuff, it was in Phoenix. So then they said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll deliver it to you the next day." So I went to where I was staying, Grants Pass, another small town away from Medford, about 30 minutes. My mother's there, my sister's there, and so then I'm waiting the next day, and it arrives 11 a.m. So it's good. But there was all types of kind of strange things happening. It's kind of, anyways. So, anyways, but I was situated there, and then I was having dinner with my family there, my biological family, and we went for a walk to a nearby park. So we were on a bridge. It's actually very beautiful. Nice, beautiful river flowing there, trees, surrounding you, clean air. So I was there, and I was dressed like this. And then some man, because if you dress like this, sometimes people ask, "Hey, what's up with you?" But so some man, he approached me and he said, "Oh, are you Hare Krishna?" And I say, "Yes." I say, "Yes." What else am I supposed to say, right? No, I'm not. I'm just dressed like this. So yes, I'm a Hare Krishna. So then he goes, "Oh yeah, I kind of, I've seen you guys before. I've seen you guys in L.A. and this and that. I spoke with you guys." And he started going. He liked to talk, but so he started going off into this long. We had a long conversation. I was mostly listening. But anyways, he was into Scientology and so many different things. And he started asking me about different things in this particular tradition, what we believe and this and that. So yeah, we're talking about all that fun stuff, right? Religion, politics, all that fun stuff. Not so much politics, a little bit. I'm not into that, but anyway, somehow he started talking about it. So I didn't have a book on me because a lot of the times when I'm walking around and traveling around, I usually carry like a book with me, because if somebody's asking me, okay, well, what are you into? This, I could talk to them, but if you give them a book, of course, a website or social media or something like that works too. But if you give them a book, which people still read these days, then he could read it on his free time and try to get something from it. So I didn't have one. So I felt bad. Sorry, Vijay Prabhu, I didn't have a book. But it's a happy ending. So anyways, he says, yeah, I work in town. My name's Dave, and I work at Dave's TV, which he's having a hard time doing these days because, he like fixes TVs, but a lot of times people don't need a fixed TV these days. So anyways, he was telling me about that. He's like fixing antennas now and this and that. But so I went there a few days later, and he was there. It's his business. And and I gave him this book, Chant Be Happy. So who has this book? All right, quite a number of you. All right, good. Is Daniel's father and aunt here? Oh wow, big crew. Okay, hello. Well. So yeah, this book, Chant and Be Happy. So this is a book. It's conversations, between our spiritual teacher, Srila Prabhupada, and the old band, part of the band Beatles. George Harrison, John Lennon. It's a very beautiful book. So I gave him that book, and let's see if he reads it. But anyways, while I was in his shop, which is a very small shop, completely just packed full of a bunch of electronics, and when I was there, on his bookshelf, he had a little card, and I don't want to mess up what it says, so I wrote it down. I thought it was amusing. I took a picture of it too, but so this is what the quote said on the card on his bookshelf. So it said, if you can't be a good example. Now, of course, I don't expect everybody to agree with this, or not necessarily, but I thought it was a good point. But so here it is. If you can't be a good example, then you'll have to be a horrible warning. Sorry, I was having a hard time reading my handwriting. I'll read it again. If you can't be a good example, then you'll have to be a horrible warning. You'll have to be a horrible warning. So I thought that was amusing. And I related it to today's world. Now, of course, this quote could be applied to so many different circles of people, of humans, but specifically because I'm trying to be in a spiritual circle, you could say, I have a tendency to relate things to spirituality. Try to. So I thought about it, and that actually, you could say religion or spirituality, as people may see it or as people may know it, has many nauseating or appalling features, unpleasant features. Religion or spirituality as people know it, or as people may see it, or as people may teach it. So what does that mean? What does that mean exactly? It means that the propounders of religion or spirituality are not really teaching the truth. And now I'm not saying all of them, but specifically I'm referring to the groups of individuals who are, you could say, like fundamental. They're very like features of fundamentalism, or dogmatism or fanaticism. In other words, this religious or spiritual pride. And they think that, oh, I'm better than so many other groups, right? My group is the best. Now, this particular thinking has nothing to do with spirituality. And therefore, atheism is on a strong, has a strong hold on the world. And even atheism amongst religious or spiritual groups, they say, yes, we're believers, and we stand for tolerance and peace and compassion, all that good stuff, etc., 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 right? But practically, they don't. It's just kind of like lip service. In other words, it's easy to speak, nicely, but how can they actually act nicely? And so many times they don't. And therefore, people are thinking, I don't want anything to do with those hypocrites. Religious or spiritual people. So I thought that in relation to this quote, if you can't be a good example, then you have to be a horrible warning that so much of the leaders or teachers of the world are actually not leaders or teachers, but they're actually cheaters. So I'm not surprised actually to see the lack of interest. Like people like churches, for example, or temples, or mosques, or synagogues, or whatever the religious establishment or building. I'm not surprised to see them emptying out. Of course, in Europe, not everybody's, they're not completely emptying out, but largely there's a huge percentage. Actually, in other countries such as New Zealand, Europe, and so on, they look at America as kind of like backwards. Oh, it's kind of like that country, they're still believing in spiritual principles and religion, God. That's kind of. But America and around the world is, you could say, catching up in a sense. But again, I'm not surprised because the leaders of these particular institutions are not able to impact people, and therefore people think there's nothing here, it's hollow. And then you have churches that used to be booming establishments with a lot of happy people in them. We hope, right? A lot of happy, joyful people practicing spiritual life. They're emptying out and they're becoming like clubs. And specifically, these guys buy them. And I don't know, have you heard that? They name them certain things like, this is the church club or something. You know what people do at clubs. So, quite amusing, I guess. So, on that happy note, so therefore, to be able to find somebody, or to be able to find a group of sincere people who are trying to be spiritual, people who are trying to live for higher principles, to find such a group of course, if somebody's looking for that, that is of the greatest accomplishment and the best thing that can happen to somebody, because they actually found somebody who's actually standing for something good, means higher principles. Now, of course, I am insignificant and unqualified, and of course this talk's not about me, so don't worry, I'm not going to keep on going on about my disqualifications, but I'm insignificant and disqualified in so many ways, and we're not going to bore you with all that, but because I'm trying, sometimes people see something good in me. And recently when I was in Portland, of course I wasn't planning on saying this, and hope you don't mind, but when I was in Portland, because I also visited Portland, we have a temple there, I gave a talk at the temple, and I met this young man there, Thomas from Portland, very sincere person. He's chanting every day and practicing, very sincere person. But anyways, at the end of our conversation, I sat there and we had lunch and I spoke with him for an hour or whatever, and afterwards he left, and I took it as a sincere expression of his, of himself. But he told me, he said, "Oh, I'm so happy to meet you." And he said, "I've been waiting," he said, I think he said months. He said, I've been waiting months to meet someone like you." And I thought that was nice. Now, of course, I said I'm disqualified in so many ways, but because I was trying to represent the truth to whatever little degree I can, or whatever degree I'm trying, he saw something good in me. Whereas I take it that he's a spiritual person and he's been searching on so many different people and so many different groups and so on. Anyways, I thought it was nice of him. He might come here and stay in the temple and meditate and things like that. He's married. He has 2 children, boys. So, anyways, he said, "I want to be a monk, but I can't leave my wife and my children." I said, "Yes, you shouldn't." It's not good. So, anyways, wrapping up here or concluding is that this should actually be the aim. Now, of course, I'm speaking, and I'm trying to represent a particular tradition and this and that, and it's a free world. People could do whatever they want. But in my humble opinion, and trying to represent the tradition in whatever little way I can, that our aim should be to find somebody, not me, but somebody, who can represent the truth and give us the truth as it is, in a pure way. In other words, we should find a spiritual guide or guru, right? Find a spiritual guide or guru. And then people say, "Oh, why do I need a guru?" Well, we need a guru for so many things. Just like cutting a mango. When I was in Portland, this very nice, pious, good-hearted, elderly, Indian lady, she came up to me and she said, "Oh, thank you very much for your talk," and very humble, and she gave me a bag. In the bag there was like 6 mangoes, organic mangoes. Thank you very much. But anyways, to cut a mango, we actually need to be taught that. For example, our teacher, means at one point we were taught that. Like, for example, our teacher, he asked one of his students, "Hey, can you please cut this mango?" And then the student started cutting it, and there's juice going all over his hand and making a mess. And then this lady was there, and she said, "Oh no, let me do it." So then she took the mango, right, and she cut half here, and then she got the half, and then she cut it like this, and then like this, and then she went like that, right? And then nice little pieces are there. So then our teacher said, just even a simple thing as cutting a mango, we need a guru, or teacher. So he said, what to speak of spiritual life? So life can be complexing and kind of navigating ourselves towards our goals. So therefore we need a guru. And that's the idea, to try to find a spiritual teacher guide who could guide us. So anyways, I saw that card and I thought it was quite interesting, and then if you can't be a good example, then you have to be a horrible warning. And I gave a book to him. Again, I gave a book. This book, Chant Be Happy. And then when I was leaving the shop, his little TV shop, Dave's TV, he told me, he said, all right. He said, now I've had everyone enter my shop. He said, I've had a Muslim enter my shop. He said, I've had a rabbi enter my shop. And he said, now I had a Hare Krishna enter my shop. So, anyways, does anybody have any questions or comments? What about Connor? He usually has a question. Or to somebody else. All right, Connor, give me a... wait 1 second. Give me a slow, what is it, softball? Underhand softball pitch, okay? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to give me.
Mr. Balarama, what about sadhus? Like, I think those seem like better than gurus, in my opinion.
I missed the word. What's the word?
Sadhu. Yeah.
Okay. What about sadhu? Is sadhu better than a guru? All right, thank you. So there's 3 guides in the Bhakti tradition. So sadhu, that means a saintly person. And then there's a guru, the teacher, spiritual teacher. And then there's the shastra, or spiritual text, that the sadhus and the guru base their life on. So they all go together. Just like for tonight, for example, we've cooked a nice dinner for all of you. So please make sure to get your dinner. Is the dinner almost ready, by the way? It's coming out any minute? Okay. Really? Huh? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Well, we got one. He's going like this. Another one's going.
yes.
All right. Who do I believe?
That's it.
Dimitri. Okay.
That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay. So we got a dinner coming out, and it should be a balanced dinner. Means it's not like we're just going to feed you cookies or something. Or for example, it's not we're going to feed you banana bread or something, because I think there's banana bread. So, but there's a balanced diet, and all of us know that. No matter what diet we follow, generally there's an idea of having a balance. So similarly, we don't say, oh, just saintly people. We're just going to listen to saintly people. We don't need a guru. Or we're not going to say, oh, we listen to the guru. We don't need saintly people. We don't need any spiritual text. So it's a balanced approach. So, are you satisfied?
Well, it doesn't sound like there's a downside to not having a guru and just having a sadhu, you know.
Well, you could
if you still get the text, you know.
Well,
like,
you could try it out and let me know how it goes. All right. Are there any other questions?
Horrible warning.
What about from the left side of the outside
What
room?
was the first?
Or the right side? No? Oh.
Thank you for your talk.
Thank you.
In what circumstance would someone have a laddu? Like for having a guru, in what circumstance would we choose a laddu?
Well, maybe you could kind of fluff your question out some more.
Last week we were talking about a guru and the dispeller of darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how some people the guru can cut away the ego.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we were talking about am I saying it correctly? A ladu? Lagu. A lagu.
Lagu means light, right?
Lagu.
Yeah, light.
So I'm just curious, would there be a circumstance, because we're talking about balance?
Mhm.
Like I've had some teachers that have cut away the ego for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, do we go searching for a lagu?
Okay.
Or
yeah.
is that like something on our path that just, it's a particular type of teacher that comes to us?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It makes more clear. It's more clear now. So yeah. Guru means to, or sadhu or guru, it means heavy or strong, which means to cut. Like surgery, like if you have like a boil or something, it's like, oh yeah, just, if you go to the doctor and the doctor just like starts kissing your boil or something, oh, it'll be okay, and but he has to like lance it actually. So similarly, there might be some things within our consciousness that has to be removed. And the sadhu or guru will do that by their words sometimes. But generally, yeah, the guru is said to be heavy in that way, like with the words. But the thing about the guru or the guru as a principle is that the guru is soft as a rose. Soft as roses, right? Very soft. Soft as a rose. I mean, very sweet, and soft as a rose, in terms of his dealings or her dealings with their students, and then also as hard as a thunderbolt. It's like both. And without that, there seems just to be like, in other words, there's different lessons we need to learn, and we learn them differently depending on the situation. It can't all just be, right, hugs and kisses, and sometimes there has to be a little bit more. And it's not like physical or something. I'm talking about like with the words. So anyways, I hope that kind of... All right. So I think dinner has arrived. I think they're going to start passing it out now. So yeah, please have dinner. And if you like, you could take the dinner to go. It's in a to-go box. Or you could stay here and have dinner here on the patio. And yeah, thank you all very much for attending Krishna Lounge tonight. Next week we'll have Bhajanarayan Swami, for those of you who know him. And yeah, we've been doing this for the last 10 years, Krishna Lounge. Usually we have it in that house, but situations, so we're having it here. So yeah, we're always here every Thursday. So feel free to stop by. All right. Thank you very much.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Sundays will in the temple.